She's so fine. Hell of a, blows my mind. Hell of a, lights my day.
What's good, guys? I covered the story of Patrick Warren on my channel the other day. He is the gentleman from Killeen, Texas, who was having a mental health crisis, whose family was requesting assistance, and a police officer responded to that scene and ended up shooting him 3 times in front of his family. So I wanted to cover this story as well. It says protesters call for arrest of Killeen officer who shot Patrick Warren. Several dozen people gathered outside the Killeen Police Department Saturday to call for the arrest of Officer Reynaldo Contreras. Cries echoing the chant, "Arrest Reynaldo Contreras," rang out in front of the Killeen Police Department Saturday as local citizens came together to protest the shooting of Patrick Warren Sr., 52, by a Killeen police officer on January the 10th. It happened just after 5:30 p.m. on the 1600 block of Carrollton Avenue. A Killeen PD press release states it was in reference to a 911 psychiatric call. Warren's son, Patrick Warren Jr., told 6 News Saturday the family had actually called a number for the Bell County Sheriff's Department Crisis Response Division. Warren Jr. said a sheriff's office deputy who specializes in mental health came out to their house the previous day and took their father to get help. He said they were trying to get the same deputy on Sunday. "We called the mental health hotline they had gave us," Warren said. "We never were told a police officer would come out." Doorbell video shows the moments leading up to when Warren was shot and killed. The video shows Warren come out of his house while waving his hands. The family said Warren was hit with a taser-like weapon and later shot 3 times. "My father had his hands up when he was being tased and was saying, 'Take it by faith, take it by faith,'" Warren Jr. said. Warren told the story in front of a group of protesters Saturday afternoon. Other protesters spoke, demanding more accountability from the Killeen Police Department. "It could have been my dad. It could have been your brother. It could have been your neighbor," Sadell Johnson said. "We want the police officer to be arrested first and foremost. All we are asking for is accountability for the police. We are gathered here today with the community to bring change, to bring about accountability," said Brian King, founder of Brothers Against Community Crimes. "We want peace, but we want accountability. We want to know that we can call on the authorities and know that our people are taken care of. I'm not here to say who is right or who is wrong, but more than one person is affected by this. Our community is affected by this." The protest lasted for less than 2 hours and ended peacefully. Warren Jr. said he wanted local leaders to hear his father's name every day for justice to be done. "Every day my father's name and his face, until they not only arrest but prosecute Reynaldo Contreras," said Warren. "Every single day I want them to hear my father's name. I never want them to forget it," Warren Jr. said. Warren also told the crowd multiple times he doesn't want to see any violence as a result of the shooting and hopes the city will stay peaceful. "I really want everybody to be peaceful. Don't burn the city down or nothing like that," Warren Jr. said. "We just want this officer arrested. We want to feel like the city is doing the right thing." Here is the GoFundMe set up by Warren Jr. for Patrick Warren Sr. funeral and expenses. They had a goal of $100,000. They have reached $48,529. It reads, "My name is Patrick Warren Jr. I'm raising money for my father who was tragically killed by Killeen Police 1/10/2021 in front of his family in a nonviolent encounter. My father was the sole provider for his family. He had a life insurance policy, but with the rise of COVID-19, he was let go from his job, and the policy expired 3 months ago. Anything you can contribute, big or small, would be greatly appreciated. My dad was the sole provider for our family, and we need 12 months of expenses, as we are being told it will take this long to get this settled. We have raised the goal, as we were not thinking past the funeral costs when we set this up. Our main objective, to make sure this doesn't happen again and that no one else has to go through a tragedy like this and watch your father be shot and killed by someone you called for help." I just wanted to share that, and I will share the link for the GoFundMe as well, should anyone decide that they would like to donate to that. But I just wanted to update you that protesters are protesting outside the Killeen Police Department, as they should. This should have never happened. This could happen to any one of us. Like I said in my video about him the first time, this happened to someone that I know and was close to at the time. And fortunately, the situation didn't end like this, but it could have. So it is a very real situation. A mental health crisis should never end like this. And I'm going to end the video on that note. Thanks for watching, guys.